Well, popular over-the-counter medicine for colds and allergies do not work.
All right, so according to an FDA panel, a decongestant in cold medicines doesn't really work at all. And joining us now to talk more about this, Fox 5 medical contributor, Dr. Richard Chaffoo. Thank you so much, Dr. Chaffoo, of course, for joining us. Sure. Let's talk about this. The FDA unanimously voted on Tuesday declaring the ingredient phenylephrine to be no more effective than a placebo pill, which is remarkable.
It is remarkable.
What is phenylephrine, first of all, and second of all, how did we get here?
Sure. So phenylephrine is basically, you can think of it as a chemical that essentially constricts blood vessels. And with that vasoconstriction, it's been used a lot in trauma cases of codes where we really urgently have to raise a patient's blood pressure, and that's one way to do it, IV. But there's been, interest in utilizing it as an oral medication. It's been pushed quite a lot as an oral preparation for a decongestant. The unfortunate thing is the FDA panel discovered that there really was no benefit whatsoever, and that's why they voted unanimously. And the problem was that it's sort of like the fox guarding the hen house, to use that analogy, that they had the drug companies that were doing these studies with really no oversight versus, most drug studies are done by independent groups. They have, there's peer review, there's these double-blinded studies. There's quite a high bar for, a drug to show efficacy because the FDA wants to make sure, number one, a drug is safe, and number two, effective. Now, we're not so concerned about the safety issue, but of course it's the efficacy issue.
Phenylephrine itself actually does work, but in certain forms, and that's what they're saying in here, is just that it doesn't work in the pill form.
In the pill form, which is what's really been pushed by the industry. It works as a nasal spray because it's more of a direct effect. The problem, Maria, is when you take it orally, and you take it obviously orally, gets in the GI tract, only about 40% of it remains versus phenylephrine, Sudafed, which basically is, or pseudoephedrine, is actually 100% effective, or 100% is available.
So how long ago was this approved by the FDA? How much money do we know how much has gone into,
So at least
buying these products?
$1.8 billion industry last year alone.
Yeah.
There was a much higher sale of the phenylephrine formulas because the pseudoephedrine has been taken off the counter because, unfortunately, as we all know, it's a product that can be used in methamphetamine labs to make amphetamine. So this is why the FDA had it removed from an over-the-counter and put it in a more secure location.
But how long has it been used in pills for people who are like, oh, I got to deal with this cold, ineffectively?
I'd say at least 20, 25 years.
How did we go two and a half decades and not realize this?
People just hoping that they would feel better.
Yes. And a lot of
placebo effect.
A placebo effect. They found no difference. And also we have to remember that some of these cold preparations have more than one ingredient in it. So it's hard to say, oh, it's just pure phenylephrine. It was mixed with a number of other things, Sudafed, of course, being in that. And then they were able to say, well, it could be a result of the effect of phenylephrine when in fact it was some another chemical.
So these are products like Sudafed that you find. Talk about some of these things. And it is a bit of a misnomer. We call them over the counter, but they're actually the ones that you find along the aisles. Correct.
So essentially a lot of the things that people take as cold preparations, Mucinex, Sinex, Tylenol PM, Sudafed, a lot of these are the over-the-counter forms that are available to people, and this is typically how it's taken in an oral preparation, oral form.
Let's talk about those stuff that does work, which is pseudoephedrine.
Yes.
But that's regulated, so you actually have to ask the pharmacist for that.
Have to ask the pharmacist for it, but true. It is, and again, it's an over-the-counter preparation, but it's 100% available. So if you ingest pseudoephedrine, you'll have 100% of that available, and that's why, of course, it's so site-specific.
So find pseudoephedrine, avoid phenylephrine.
Correct, and be careful with both of those, Andrew, when we're talking about somebody that has hypertension or cardiac disease, because we don't want those coronaries to be constricted, nor do we want somebody's blood pressure to be under poor control. Sometimes we think that something being over the counter is safe to use, but we still have to use common sense. If you're on antihypertensives for brittle, hard to control blood pressure, then these can be very deleterious to your health if not taken under the direction of your physician.
I'm really taken by how we got here, how we've gone this long and have been sold snake oil, if you will.
Right, a bill of goods.
Right. So what products do you think are going to disappear from the shelves? And is there a massive class action lawsuit that's going to happen with everybody who's like, I've been taking this for 25 years.
Right. And it doesn't work.
And I've been paying you for nothing.
So I can almost bet there will be class action lawsuits for sure. What's going to happen, we'll wait and see how the courts run that out. But a number of these products will ultimately probably be taken off the shelves because of this recommendation. But again, it's non-binding. But typically when you have an FDA panel of 5 members all agreeing that this really is not effective, then that's going to drive down sales and have an effect on consumer purchasing.
So they'll remove it from some of the cold medicines, that multi-symptom ones, but the decongestants will probably likely be removed from the shelves altogether.
More than likely. Again, the spray form still is effective.
So before we let you go real quick, remind us, all right, I got a cold.
Yes.
I should get what?
So
runny nose?
Well,
I will get a runny nose.
I mean, the thing is,
wash your hands.
I should get which product?
Right. So if you're going to get a product, probably pseudoephedrine is the best product, and avoid the phenylephrine.
Check with your doctor.
But yeah, check with your doctor and be a really good consumer. And you know what? Be very critical of what something really represents, because it's out there and it's packaged nicely and marketed well. Does not necessarily mean it is an effective.
We put that trust in the FDA, and you would expect they've run this through the gamut.
Not a lot of trust with the FDA has made some poor decisions in the past, but this is obviously a good one overall for the consumer.
Talk to the doctor. And we appreciate talking to you today as well, Dr. Chaffoo. Thank you so much. We'll be right back here on the Fox 5 News at 1.